Well, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're having a great day. I know I was meant to upload Monday and Tuesday, and I wouldn't say I forgot, I just didn't have the time to edit the videos. But I'm back now after a week off, and I'm recovered somewhat. Like, I'm not really recovered. I've had a heavy weekend, that's all I'm going to say. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm going to try and get through this as best as possible, like a trooper. But to be fair, the pressures of managing the biggest club in Yorkshire has driven me to this stage. So to recap last episode, because obviously it has been a week since I last uploaded, we did take on Bournemouth and Tottenham in the last two games of the Premier League season after securing survival a few weeks before. And against Bournemouth, we lost by 2-1, but then got a creditable 1-1 draw away at Tottenham when Marvin Sordell got his first and probably only ever assist in the Premier League for my team. And the summer that has followed has been incredibly interesting. So the ball came back to me after the last game of the season and told me that they were incredibly pleased that I managed to achieve a mid-table position in the division, but they were very disappointed because at one stage we looked like we were going to qualify for the Europa League. That stage being when every other team was being shit at the start of the year. The board also set my initial budgets at 50 million transfer budget and 1.8 million wage budget, which I believe is 600,000 more than I'm paying right now. Oh, we're going to be spending big, boys. So the end of the season awards were very interesting because Marcus Llorente both got player of the season and signing of the season, but didn't get into the team of the season. I mean, who votes on these things? After our 0-0 draw against Southampton, Steven Gerrard spoke to the press and said that he thinks I should be sacked if I carry on with my aggressive nature that I tell my team to play on a Saturday. Yeah, so Steven Gerrard got sacked and I didn't. Get wrecked.
Oh, and Gerrard slipped.
Peter Crouch has also retired from professional football, and unfortunately he didn't want to stay as a coach, so long Peter. Like, we have a lot of memories with Peter. Like, we signed him, he scored a winner once against Hull, he scored twice in a month once. I mean, I'm really struggling here. So we made an 8.81 million loss, which isn't that bad because I spent a lot of money, but did bring a lot of money in. I have a feeling that this summer is not going to be the same. We also went after Christoph Piatek because I did have a lot of money and I did need a world-class striker to lead the line for us next year, but he wanted like 400 grand a week and I'm not going to pay anywhere near that amount because that's the yearly wage for the entire of Huddersfield. Ashley Young has also retired from professional football, but he is staying on as a coach. So Paul Dummett has left the club to join newly promoted Aston Villa for 3.5 million. A player I spent 4.1 million on, played him like 10 times. He didn't get an assist. I would have forgotten about him by next episode. So I found out just now that Scotland had won Euro 2020 and they beat Bosnia in the final. And people say Football Manager isn't realistic. So I did put in a bid for Harry Winks and I was going to strengthen my midfield with him until Fulham just decided to offer more money and then he went to them. Can't wait to break his leg when we play him. Tommy Smith has also decided to leave the club and join Watford for 4.9 million. A right back that I didn't really need anymore. Like, he was a pretty decent choice, but, you know, we got better options out there. And amazingly, the first game of the season is against Bournemouth at home. Why do we always play Bournemouth in this series now? Oh, and the Boxing Day fixtures Bournemouth as well, so that will probably be them in episode 33. The board also have set their expectations a little higher this year. They want us to avoid a relegation battle, which I'm not sure what that really means because surely that's mid-table, but mid-table's an option as well. So what is it? Is it 11th? Is it 12th? Is it 17th? But we're like 15 points ahead of the rest. Because technically, that's not a relegation battle then. But before we go any further, let's talk about the transfers I made over the summer. Now, Callum Hudson-Odoi has gone back to Chelsea, and I've not taken up his loan option. So instead, I've signed Trezeguet on a free transfer. He just had his contract ended at Kasımpaşa in Turkey. He signed for Aston Villa in real life. He's got Premier League experience in my eyes. Second of all, Connor Cody joins us for 14.5 million from Wolverhampton Wanderers. A centre-back with a lot of experience at this level, and someone I feel like we needed to strengthen the back line. Further of all, Aaron Wan-Bissaka joins us from Crystal Palace, who got relegated last year for £12 million, and he is a direct replacement for Tommy Smith, and I can't wait to use him at the back. Fourth of all, we signed Hal Robson-Kanu from Karabag in Azerbaijan for 475k. He's just a backup option on that left wing if Trezeguet gets injured. And probably the biggest signing we've made this summer is that Mesut Ozil joins us for £2.6 million from Arsenal. We got him on 140 grand a week for 2 years. A good player to play in the number 10 role. Next of all, Matt Clark joins us from Portsmouth, who just got relegated from the Championship for 2.2 million. He's going to be our backup centre-back this year because Jorgensen is starting to tail off a little bit. Next of all is the goalkeeper, and David Raya joins us for 2.2 million from Leicester City. He was going to be my backup this season, but something has happened to Dean Henderson, which means that Matteo Perran has also joined us for 12 million pounds from Juventus, and someone that I'm actually quite excited to use this season because it is actually the first foreign goalkeeper I think I've ever signed. And probably our two biggest signings signings of the transfer window as well happen late on, as Christopher Ajer joins us on a season-long loan from Chelsea. He can play centre-back, defensive mid and centre midfield. A very good player in this game as well. And finally, we splashed the cash and signed Wilfried Zaha from £29 million from Manchester City. I would like to call it a panic buy, and I was going out for a big name signing this year, and he was the man. So Nick Powell came to me after I signed Mesut Ozil and said that he was worried for his place in the team, and I said, well, more competition for places now, you have to stake your claim for a regular first team place. He then asked me what he needs to do in order to meet my standards, and I said to him that he needs to start passing better, and then he just left the room. He's loved me and left me there. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has signed a new 4-year deal, which means his wages rise to 65 grand a week, which is a bit annoying because I was paying him 30 grand a week and it was quite affordable. So I've now just doubled his wages. Well, I haven't, but the director of football has. So Marvin Sordell has run down his contract and left the club. I tried to offer him a new one, but he literally does not want to come back. I think he hates me now. That is really heartbreaking. That is actually the worst thing to happen to me.
When you get what you want, but not what you need.
I also tweeted the other day that Charlie Adam had joined us at Huddersfield. I lied. I tried to sign him from Hamilton, but he only just joined them, so we won't be getting him then. Neil Maupay has also taken up British citizenship, which is fantastic news because now I have another British player on my books. Brexit means Brexit. Kyle Walker-Peters also rejected us and joined Crystal Palace, who got relegated. So I offered him first team football, and then he went to a team in the Championship. But saying that, you probably saw that 4-3 defeat a few episodes ago and thought, nah, I can't help them. So Dean Henderson has left the club to join Chelsea for £11 million, and I went looking out for a new goalkeeper and tried for Loris Karius. He wanted 150 grand a week, which I'm not paying him because have you seen him in the Champions League final a few years ago? I can't take that risk, especially if I make it into Europe. Wilfried Zaha is now our record transfer and celebrated it by twisting his knee and being out for the first game of the season. Great. We also beat Krasnodar in our final friendly of the summer, which, I mean, Hal Rosenkanu scored, so it's a successful game. So Sergi Samper bruised his thigh in training, and I thought to myself, what is the best way I can get around this? So I sold him to Aston Villa for 5.75 million. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has also got himself injured before the start of the season as well, so two of my big signings have got themselves injured. You love to see it. So on the day of the first game of the season, Trezeguet came to me and said that he wanted to speak to me because he's unsettled, and then I said to him, you know, would you like a short leave of absence? And then he told me he wanted to leave. You want to leave after joining the club? I mean, have you seen Huddersfield? I mean, I'd rather live in Egypt, to be fair. And I've been to Egypt, and it was too hot for me. But here we go, our first game of the Premier League season against Bournemouth, and we do set up in the same system we played them in the last episode and the last game against. Matai Perrin makes his debut in goal for us and takes the number 33 shirt off Dean Henderson. Connor Cody and Christopher Ajer come in as our new centre-backs to start off the season, while D'Amico Dehaney comes in at right-back as Aaron Wan-Bissaka is injured. Trezeguet starts off on the left wing despite his unsettled issues at the club, and because Neil Maupay is still suspended, it means Steve Mounier will replace him and partner Max Phillip up front. I do love a new season, don't you? And, well, we're playing Bournemouth again. I feel like Huddersfield versus Bournemouth is going to become a rivalry someday. Well, to be fair, they don't play anywhere near the same location or wear the same team colours or hate each other enough. I'm just going to stop chatting shit. But then I can't really be because the rest of the video would be silent. Bournemouth got the first highlight of the game as Nathaniel Klein played the ball over the top for Callum Wilson to run through, and he shot straight at Perrin. Not a good start, but a good start for Perrin. At least he's got near the ball. At least I haven't signed a shit goalkeeper. And then Lallana played in Callum Wilson, but his shot was blocked by Connor Cody. I mean, I feel like we should be marking him better. But a great ball out wide by Steve Mounier found Ollie Berg, and he put the ball into the box for Trezeguet to fire it into the back of the net. I don't care if he wants to leave, he's not leaving, and then he scores on his debut. You'd love to see it. How does this make sense? How does this make sense? It didn't take Bournemouth too long to try and get back into the game as Harry Arter laid it off for Callum Wilson, and then he hit the bar. Is this the Callum Wilson show or something? But then again, saying that, Nathaniel Klein's ball then found Callum Wilson and he fired it into the back of the net. Great defending by Connor Cody there. And the thing is, I told Connor Cody to mark Callum Wilson specifically, and then he just did that. Great marking. Great defending. Great £14 million signing by Chris Proud once again. And then it got worse as Jordan I played in Callum Wilson again and he fired it into the back of the net. 2-1. I've signed two new centre-backs and they're just allowing the striker, who's probably overrated, just to run straight through them. At half-time, I had a go at the team and then also told them to press Callum Wilson pretty intensely because he scored twice even though I'm tightly marking him. Are you taking the piss? But then a great ball by John McGinn found Ollie Berg on the wing, and Ollie Berg took a touch and then put a ball into the box for Steve Mounier to power header past the goalkeeper to give us a 2-2 draw. The equalising goal. Why am I saying a 2-2 draw? There's still 50 minutes on the clock. There's still a lot of time for us to win the match. Or lose the match, should I say. I then made a few changes and Wilf Zaha came off the bench despite being slightly injured to replace Trezeguet, while Mesut Ozil came on to replace Max Phillip. And the decision to bring on Mesut Ozil was vindicated as he set up Steve Mounier to give us a 3-2 lead with another header inside the box. I think Steve has now equalled the amount of goals he scored for me last year, and he's done it in one match. Amazing scenes. And just when I thought it couldn't get any better, Ollie Burke's cross then found Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at the back post, and despite his first shot being saved, he fired in the rebound to give us a 4-2 lead, and that's the way the result ended. 4-2 win on the first day of the season. Easy peasy. I've spent 75 million. I should be beating teams like Bournemouth 4-2. I mean, who's up for a Premier League winning campaign? Because I am.